Hey y'all, it's Christy. I thought I would get ready and explain why I've changed my channel name from Christy's Creations to Cristy In Her Fifties. And essentially, I got busy with life and wasn't able to work on it as I wanted to, and so I just put it on the back burner for a while. But I always had it in the back of my mind, and when I would do projects, I'm like, you should video this. And anyway, I didn't, but I'm ready. I'm back. And I'm excited to be here. And one of the main things I'm going to focus on is how I'm preparing for retirement. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, I heard of the magical work someplace for 30 years and, you can retire from there and essentially make as much in retirement, if not more, than you did at your real job. So when I got my first career job at 19, which thank gosh, I was one of the lucky ones who did not have to go to college to start this out. I was able to start my career, pretty much out of high school. And so I worked there for 4 years and 10 months. And the reason that's important is because I left 2 months before I could have got some small pension from them when I retire. But of course, when you're, 24 or so, 23, 24, you think, I don't care. That's future Christy's problem. And so I left anyway. And I'm glad I did because I immediately got like a $10,000 raise. And when you're that young, that is huge. I mean, anytime that's huge, right? But for me, that was great. And I got to take my skills that I had learned to another company. And I was with them for 14 years until they sold to one of our competitors. And that was a very traumatic experience because I didn't know if they were going to keep me or not. I interviewed, I worked for this other company and, was doing what I had always done but doing it for them. And did they like me? Can I do enough? Can I volunteer to take more on? Hoping that they'll take me. And for whatever reason, they delayed in picking me up. And so it came upon the very last day that they could pick me up. And I kind of had a little breakdown. And you know what they say, like the greatest foundation is built on rock bottom. I had my rock bottom. I had my rock bottom. I remember very vividly pretty much laying on the couch because I was so depressed about it and crying. And an hour later, I got a call that they had accepted me. And so I was pleased as punch because I was the breadwinner. I had kids in school, approaching college. My oldest was approaching college. To take my very specific niche of what work I do and find something different. I was just nervous that we would flounder and struggle. But anyway, so I just got to transition from one thing to the next. And I worked very hard there. I'm still working hard there. I'm still in the same group. I love it. I love what I do. I say and have always said, if I'm not doing what I do here, I'm going to be doing it for another company. But that was like in my 30s and I'm in my 40s. And I'm like, well, that's looking different now. Because one thing that I did do was once I started that the second job, essentially, second career job. Once I started that company, I immediately started my 401k with at least whatever they matched. And that was 6%. And so I just let that ride. I didn't even worry about it over the next 20 or so years. And I this is probably where I've definitely erred and probably could have even more in my 401k. I set it to safe settings such as here's 10 investments and just kind of split it between these 10 instead of like going back a year or so later and seeing which one of those was the best, and then kind of narrowing them down even from 10 to 5, I just left it like that. And so over time, some of those literally end, and you're just, you know, anyway, it is what it is. It's done, but I'm pleased with what I have saved. And of course, I can always save more. But I'm reaching a point where I'm on like the sprint to retirement, and I kind of need to plan that. I need to know what that looks like. I do have friends and family who are retiring or have retired, and I'm envious of their schedule, as in they can go to bed when they want, they can wake up when they want, they can go wherever they want because they're not tied to a laptop and a job and blah, blah, blah. Now, a lot of them have passion projects, and my friend Bronnie always says you need something to retire to, not retire from, and that is amazing. And I'm thinking, wait, let me go back to my YouTube. That is the perfect passion project for me, because I only did the other for maybe a year, but I did love it, but nothing came of it monetarily or blah, blah, blah. But now I feel like because of where I'm at, I'm 54, what I'm working towards is, you know, retirement. It's coming. It'll come when it comes, as in, if they lay me off, because I've been there for 30 years, if they lay me off, I will get some sort of severance and I can start my retirement. Now, there's a rule of 55, and this year I do turn 55. So I could potentially take from my 401k if I need to when I get laid off, as long as I don't work but before I'm 59 and a half. And so again, I'm in all of these little fine nuances are going on, and I just think I really can bring something, you know, for other ladies or men going through these situations, people in their 50s trying to decide when. And I've watched all these great videos of all these people who have retired, or, you know, just work one more year. And there's all these statistics about the earlier you retire, the longer you live. And, you know, don't we all want to be there? I have kids and grandkids and, you know, hopefully one day great grandkids. I want to see them. I want to experience that. I want to experience life. I want to travel. You know, I want to work on my house. I want to work on my weight. I've lost 40 pounds this year. I want to keep doing that. And that might be something else to help inspire others too. I'm using Weight Watchers. So anyway, that's why I changed the name. That's why I'm now focusing on myself, my retirement, what that looks like, how I'm going to build it. When the day comes, I'm sure there'll be tears, but there could be happy tears as well. So I hope you stay with me. You know, maybe we can help each other. If you have tips and suggestions of you've been there, you've done that, or this is what you're also currently doing to help you retire, you know, put that in the comments, and let's create a community where we can all discuss it. And essentially, that's it. That's why. And anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you do get to stay. I hope you like and subscribe. And if you don't, I wish you the best in life, and take care, and I'll see you next time.